It's really intimidating to have a tool that someone would use for their livelihood, and you have the responsibility to make it the best possible tool that they're ever going to experience.
The Philippines has a long history of blade making due to its history of fighting colonization and its agricultural-based economy. However, many of these bladesmiths are aging, and the younger generation are reluctant to carry on the tradition. One self-taught knife maker, Sean Alonzo, is bucking that trend.
So I thought of upgrading the Filipino knives, and I did for a time, but then I didn't think anyone cared that much for a high-end weapon. When I made them, it was actually more to test myself artistically. All the materials I would use were scrap. It was only like around half a year into Bullet the Blades that I dropped everything else except culinary tools, because that seemed to be where the interest was at. I was looking for a way to make my work stand out. I was looking at all these Filipino motifs, and I wanted to include it in my work. I wanted it to have the essence of Filipino culture, but not necessarily a specific Filipino culture. So I designed my motifs based on motifs that I saw, and I mixed and matched them.
Sean is an internationally acclaimed knife maker who just 3 years ago had never made a single blade, but now he is winning international awards and his knives are in high demand, with clients willing to wait up to 12 months for a custom piece.
When I conceptualize something, we never start from scratch, because chef knives are not vague. We always start with what kind of blade they like and what their cutting style is like. And then we move on to the handle. Some chefs like straight handles, really simple, straight and round. But then some chefs see the sculpted geometric handles that I do, and they think, wow, I really want that. So that's what I give them. Yeah, it's a nice feeling because they've never held it before, and they trust me completely to make it comfortable. Knife handles are not unusual. Like, a lot of them have a common shape, right? But then the designer part goes in how we make that common shape special. So I started like trimming sharp edges off or knocking corners off, and then feeling it. Is there any sharp spots? If there is, I make it flat. And then it's just about sculpting what works and stopping what doesn't. And it's in a sense creative play. You just keep tweaking the handle until it feels right. There's this idea of visual interest that I like to put on the knives. That's why I really like sharp curves. I like power lines, and I like things that catch your eye. So what I thought to do was to put an intermediary texture between the spine and the cutting edge. You know, just to give it a little bit more character. I imagine rock or chiseled slate. When I'm sculpting these, I sculpt these with rotary burrs and mounted stones, you know, just to give it a little bit more character.
Although reluctant to compare himself to traditional bladesmiths, Sean hopes he is contributing to Filipino culture by making chef knives to the highest standard he can, using the best materials available.
I'd like to think that the knives I make contribute to Filipino culture, at least in a little way. It makes me happy if they're actually using it, and it makes me even happier if it's the best tool that they've ever owned.